Hello, boys and girls. This is Mr. So. Welcome back for another lesson of biology. Today we are going through lesson 16 about sex determination and sex linkage. Before you start watching the video, remember to like and subscribe my channel and also share the video to your classmates. Let's start. For human, you have 23 pairs of homologous chromosomes in our human body cells. There are 22 pairs of them being the autosomes, while the very last pair of it would be the sex chromosome. If you are a male, you will have the sex chromosome, one X chromosome, and one Y chromosome, one long, one short, with the Y shorter. And if you are a female, you will have the very last sex chromosome, both of them the long X chromosome, two of them. For men who has one X chromosome and one Y chromosome, during meiosis to produce sperm, a sperm it can either carry an X chromosome or a Y chromosome. But for the mother, who is a female with both XX chromosome, after splitting in the meiotic cell division, it can only produce one type of sex gamete, the ovum, with only the X chromosome. And after fertilization, the chance of forming a boy, XY chromosome together, or a girl with XX chromosome together is 50-50. That's it about how the gender is determined by the X and Y chromosome. And every time, the chance for forming a boy or a girl is 1/2. That means 50%. For the second part of this lesson, we are going to go through the sex linkage. It is the characteristics or trait controlled by the genes on the sex chromosome. That means the X or the Y chromosome. We call this sex-linked. And most of these genes, they are located on the X chromosome, so we usually call them X-linked. If there is a disease gene located on the X chromosome, we call that the X-linked disease. And some of them, we call them the genetic disease 遺傳病. They are usually occurring more on the male 重男輕女㗎. So there are 6 types of genetic disease. They usually goes on the male, but seldom happens on the female, such as example 1, 血友病 hemophilia. And then the next one, 紅綠色盲 red-green color blindness. And the last one, 蠶豆症蠶豆病 G6PD deficiency disease. Let's see how the red-green color blindness affects a person and how it passes from the parents to the offspring. Imagine for the case of a female, she has both X chromosome. For example, for the chromosome X on the left-hand side, it has an allele for normal vision. So when these allele of normal vision express, it is going to produce a protein, a normal vision protein. And then for the chromosome, X chromosome on the right-hand side, it also have an allele, but this allele is for the red-green color blindness. So when it expresses, it is going to produce a red-green color vision protein. But now take a look at whether this protein is dominant or recessive. For the normal vision, it is going to have a dominant allele. So therefore, this protein produced is going to be very expressive and masked the recessive allele for red-green color blindness. Therefore, for this female on this slide with one normal vision allele and one red-green color blindness allele, she's going to, at the end, still have the phenotype of normal vision. This time, take a look at the case of a male. For the male, he is going to have one Y chromosome on the left and one X chromosome shown on the right. Let's take a look at the right X chromosome first. On top of the X chromosome, it has an allele for red-green color blindness. And when it expresses, it is going to produce a red-green colorblind protein. Makes sense? And then let's take a look at the Y chromosome. On top of the Y chromosome, you can see something is missing. Unlike the X chromosome, it is shorter. Therefore, on the Y chromosome, do you see any normal vision allele? No. No such gene or no normal vision allele. And since on the Y chromosome there is no normal vision allele, therefore it cannot mask the expression of a red-green colorblind protein. Therefore, the recessive allele for red-green color blindness is still expressed and shown the characteristics and shown the phenotype. Therefore, for this male, now the phenotype would be red-green colorblind. Let's take a look at the possible genotypes of a female and a male to form the red-green color blindness. For the female, it has to have two recessive alleles of red-green color blindness to show these red-green color blindness phenotype. While for the male, it only needs one recessive allele like this, enough to show the phenotype of the red-green color blindness. Let's take a look at some cases of how the recessive red-green colorblind allele is passed from the parent to the offspring. For case 1, if you have a normal female with both the X chromosome having the normal color vision, while a male with the red-green color blindness having a recessive red-green colorblind allele on the X chromosome, you are going to have at the very end a male with normal vision, while for a female also having normal vision, but one X chromosome carrying a recessive colorblind red-green colorblind allele and another chromosome carrying a normal colored vision allele. So we call this type of female, although she has normal vision, we call them the female carrier, and the ratio is 1:1. For case 2, you can have a normal female who is a carrier with one normal vision allele and also a red-green colorblind vision allele on the 2X chromosome, crossing with a normal male with a normal colored vision allele on the X chromosome. And they give two types of gamete from each parent. After fertilization, you will have 4 different types of offspring, giving a ratio 1:1:1:1. So you may have the question, why is the X-linked genetic disease such as the red-green color blindness more common on male? This is because point number 1. The recessive allele of the disease is located on the X chromosome. How many X chromosomes does the female has? The female has 2 X chromosomes. And they will only have the disease if both the X chromosomes has the recessive allele. But for the male, it has only one X chromosome, so it can have the disease only if there is one recessive allele. So the chance, or it will be easier for male to have the X-linked genetic disease with a higher chance. After finishing the idea of sex determination and sex linkage, let's go to the classwork 26.2 to do the questions to strengthen your understanding. Stay tuned, watch my next video for the classwork. Bye bye.